My name is Jamie and I'm a homeschool mom of 3 who's been homeschooling for approximately 6 years. And today I'm going to share with you 10 tips for new homeschooling families or those who are struggling. Tip number 1, homeschool is not public school. Most of you are probably thinking that's obvious, but this is more of a mindset thing. Not going by a public school or traditional school setting or schedule or the way that it normally looks or what you're normally used to is very difficult. It actually has taken me quite a few years to really realize this and to really implement things in my own homeschool that make it so that we're not really copying what public school is, because public school did not work for my children. It's important that with homeschool you learn what schedule works best for your own family. I know that there's homeschool families who will wake up in the morning and do their homeschool in the morning like we do. Some will do it after lunch. Some will do it in the evenings after the parents are working all day. And it's really whatever best suits your family, whatever works the best. With homeschool, one of the great things is flexibility. You can decide what days you're homeschooling, how many hours you're going to homeschool for, or some can do it on the weekends instead of doing it during the week. It's really up to you and what works best. As far as how many hours, I'll tell you, we typically start about 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're usually done around lunchtime, sometimes a little bit after lunch. So don't feel like your homeschool day has to be Monday through Friday, 7 or 8 hours every day, because that's just unrealistic for most homeschool families. And it kind of defeats the purpose of having that flexibility. Number 2 is homeschool curriculum is not a one-fits-all. You're going to find the more that you homeschool and the more that you spend more time with your family and your kids, that each of them are different. They have different strengths, different weaknesses, different things that they really need to work on, things that they excel on already that they may not need to work on in that grade level. We're also going to find that sometimes a variation works best, and that's kind of what I found is, I know this year we're doing mainly master books, but I've had to change a few things up, which I'm going to talk about in another video. But typically, a Mod Podge kind of curriculum works best for my own family, where I'm using a couple different brands of curriculum or a couple different styles. Or we even had one year, which was last year, where I actually just looked up what the scope and sequence of that grade level was for each of my children, and I just kind of pieced things together from teachers pay teachers and resources like that, and it seemed to really work well for my own family. So you just kind of need to find how your kids learn, what works best for them, and don't be discouraged that they're working at different paces. Don't be discouraged that maybe one of your kids can do more independent study while the other one can't, because I'm in that similar situation. But really just recognizing earlier on how your kids learn and what works best for them and what keeps their focus is really key here. Tip number 3 would be in early childhood, like pre-K, I would say in kindergarten and maybe even first grade. Your main focus should be learning educationally through play. So for instance, my youngest and I the other day, she has these little animals that you connect them together, and the front part has the uppercase letter, the back part has the lowercase letter. That for us, that was school. We did that together. She found the pieces, she connected them, and she said, U for unicorn. And it was perfect. She was learning, she was engaging, she was focused. And that was her homeschool for that day. Homeschool doesn't have to be something elaborate. It doesn't have to be hours long. And especially for that age group, their attention span is so short that you have to find ways to engage with them. You have to find ways to get them focused and help them to enjoy learning. Because honestly, if you ruin learning for them at that young of an age by just constantly giving them worksheet after worksheet or workbook after workbook, then they're gonna have this idea in their mind already at that young age that school is me having to sit down and spend hours looking at papers, and that's not really going to help them to succeed. Explore your child's interests at that age especially. I know my daughter, she loves animals, so we do a lot of things with animals involved. We do a lot of tactile things. Play-Doh works well. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. We've done sensory boxes, we've done Play-Doh, we've done cut out little letters or little flashcards and be like, okay, let's find the letter, blah, blah, blah. and go do that. Do like a little seek and find in your house. Find things in your home that start with certain letters or certain colors, and that way they can engage and have fun, and they will equate that with learning, and it'll give them a good positive experience to build upon. Number 4, breaks and downtime do not put you behind, but they prepare you for success. I'm a type A person. I very rigidly will stick to a schedule. And if that schedule gets thrown off, guess what? My attitude and everything gets thrown off. It's something I've been working on for years. But I've had to learn that with homeschooling, there's going to be times where you don't have that schedule followed precisely, where things don't go as planned. Just like anything else in life, things come up, things happen, stuff slows you down or pulls you away from your homeschool at times, and it's okay to take a break. There's times last year, and I'm sure there will be this year, where we're gonna say, this was a hard week. We've worked hard, it's been kind of chaos, we've been busy, let's take Friday off. And just taking one day off here and there for my kids is like launching them back into the next week. They come back focused, they come back engaged, they come back with energy, and they're ready. And me too. It gives us all a break. I think the biggest thing is to just kind of keep your own sanity. At times it can be very difficult to be at home most of the time with your kids, even though that's what you've chosen, and there's a reason you've chosen that, and that's great. But sometimes you have to say, you know what, we're gonna take a day and we're just gonna go to the park. Or we're gonna take a day and we're just gonna go to the library. Or you know what, we're gonna take a day and we're just gonna relax. And that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not gonna put you behind, but it's gonna set you and your kids up to succeed. Number 5, and this kind of ties in with number 4, is it is okay to not finish your curriculum for the year. Say it again. It is okay to not finish your curriculum for the year. I understand you've paid for it. I understand that some of them are very expensive, and I get that. But for me, I've learned that even though a curriculum may have 170 or 180 days in it, my own state of Virginia does not require a certain number of days. So I have an end date in my mind of, from the beginning of the school year, that no matter what, by this date, wherever we are, we're done. And that's okay. It's okay. There's some books that we get all the way to the end and we finish earlier in the year. And that's okay. We don't add extra subjects on because I'm not trying to overload or overwhelm my children. And I feel that what I've chosen for the year is sufficient. But by the end of the year, if there's a little bit left in a book or half the book, you can 1, continue it next year in the beginning of the year, or 2, save it for the summer. Those are 2 other choices you have, but try not to beat yourself up about not finishing a curriculum all the way through.